Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name's Bobby Waldron and this is a new step-by-step video build of the 1:48 scale F-14D Super Tomcat by HobbyBoss, and this is a cracker of a kit, just released. They've got an A and B version, all three of them cracking kits, and we're going to turn this into a step-by-step video build. Now, step-by-step video build is plain and simply, I will video step-by-step everything to build this kit, you know, from building the cockpit, fit issues, spraying, decaling, weathering, you know, the works, and they'll be put into episodes where they get released potentially like once a week, normally on a Friday. Episode 1 is a sample. All the episodes after that are for subscribers, which is £3.99 a month. Now, with this particular kit, before we get on the bench and go ahead and basically do an inbox review and start building it, with this particular step-by-step video build, I want to have a focus point, and the focus point for this step-by-step is the weathering, because let's face it, the F-14 Tomcat, being like, you know, a Navy aircraft carrier kind of aircraft, it really does get mega dirty. I mean, we're talking all sorts of like grime and spray patching up jobs and everything on this, so I really want to get down to some serious advanced level weathering techniques, from using your spraying to this weathering stage, and really kind of show you guys some serious nit and gritty, getting down to some advanced weathering. So without further ado, let's get on with getting this on the bench, have an inbox review, and then crack on with a step-by-step video build. Right, here we have our inbox review of the F-14D Super Tomcat by HobbyBoss, and it's in 1:48 scale. This is a whole new tool and everything, nice new kit, really excited about this. So let's get the stuff out of the box and let's have a look what we've got in here. Now, instructions, I mean, I've had a quick flick through them, and they do look as though you can, you know, understand what's going on. There is loads of options here for like certain doors and panels and stuff open, where you can show off you know, the what's that, the M61A1 Gatling system, you know, you can show off all that. Flap slats, you know, up and down, you know, you've got this engine area as well, where you've got all that on show. You know, the instructions, they do get you there. They look pretty good, and it looks like there's lots of options to have things in different places, up, down, open, close, and all that stuff. But hopefully, you know, after building this, they should get you there nicely. Going through it, we've got a decal sheet here, which is all nice and glossy and all nicely in colour, and it's basically telling you where all your decals go. And I think we've got two options here. We've got an F-14D, which is the VF101, and what was it, this side is the F-14D, the VF213. Okay, so those are the two markings you get. You might want to go out and buy some different markings if you want to, but we've also got all our colours down here, which is actually quite nice, because they do actually say like the Mr. Hobby Range, Vallejo, Model Master, Tamiya, Humbrol. You know, you really do get told, you know, what paints you can use from different manufacturers, which is a good thing there. Little advertisement sheet, we won't bother with that. So starting with the first sprue that comes on top, just cut this open here and slide this out. Right, now looking at this, everything looks really nice and crisp. Not seeing an inkling of flash, nasty ejector pin marks anywhere on this. And if I bring you in, we've just got some really nice crisp, got some really nice crisp rivets, recessed panel lines going on there. They are going to look really nice. and you know, you just cannot fault that. And you've got all these options for like your slats and your flaps and everything to be raised up and down, which livens it up all and everything. So that's a nice bit there. Got lots of bags of sprues, so you know, I'm going to try and speed this up if I can. Let's bring you out, sorry. There we go. There we go. Right, then next bag, I mean, we've got all our, this is like our nose section and what looks like all our air intakes. Got a few ejector pin marks inside the air intakes, which, okay, you might want to sand them out, but they're not that bad actually. We've got our where our Gatling system goes in here. You know, we can close that up with all the doors, or we can have them open or anything. But you could do. You could probably doing a bit more scratch building in there just to liven that up if you want to have it open. I'm personally going to close it up, but you know, that looks all good there as well. And hold on one second, I need to find a space to put the sprues. Right then, carrying on, we've got another set of sprues here. These are all your tails and everything, and again, I mean, the quality of the plastic is looking really nice and smooth, and the rivets and the recessed panel lines just look second to none. They really do look very impressive, and the ejector pin marks aren't really being a problem. They're all nicely in places where you want them to be, but not in places where you don't want them to be. On our gear bay, landing gear bay doors here, I mean, I'm seeing 2 ejector pin marks on both of these gear bay doors here. They are quite faint, you might be able to get away with them, but I mean, you're probably going to have to fill them and sand them if that's something that really kind of you don't like. But I would say you could probably get away with them because they're quite faint. Again, you know, really nice recessed panel line and riveting detail. Really good with this. Here we've just got a bunch of pylons and everything, which I don't want to keep boring you by getting them all out, but we've got some fuel tanks here as well. And again, you know, everything's looking really nice, really crisp, and really top notch, which is really going to give Hasegawa a big run for their money now. Now we've got this 2 sprues here, which looks like this is where all our little bits are going, and what this bit of packaging is here, I don't know yet, so I'm just going to open that up and see what's actually in here. And I think that was just for the what looks like that goes inside your canopy section, so I think that was just to kind of like pad things out for everything else in the box. Looking on here at all the little bits of details, I think we've got stuff like certain buttons and instrument panels that goes into the cockpit section. But everything looks well detailed, and as I say, there's just no flash, which is kind of showing that, you know, this is a really nice brand new kit. And the detail is just lovely on this kit, and I do really like how new it feels as well. Moving along with this one, we've got some landing gear sections here, which does look nice and crisp, again looking really good. Looking at what looks like our wheel well walls that we're going to have to probably put together. Looks really nice. Looks like you've got some nice wires and everything in there, and that's probably the front landing gear part, which we're gonna have to, yeah, we are going to be building our our landing gear wheel wells. It looks like we're going to be building all together inside and everything, which does look kind of good, because you've got to build it all in different sections. It's like they've been able to put quite a bit of detail in the different sections to bring it together to really make some nice wheel wells, so that's good. Apart from that, that looks all real nice there. Moving along, In this bag here we've got our whole engine section. I'm going to try and speed things up, so I'm not going to get this one out, but we've got this massive engine section where you literally build all your engine, and pretty much, you know, these two sprues here literally are building just your engines, your exhaust, which is a nice bonus. I mean, we're probably most likely gonna, pretty much everyone's gonna basically just, you know, end up kind of, it's going to go in the model and you're not going to see, you know, all this inside engine detail, so you're probably going to really skip all this kind of stuff, and really it's just, you know, concentrate on the ends of the exhaust, which is what you want showing. But all this nice detail, it's good if you want to do some scratch building and actually get in there and maybe open it all up, open up the panels and stuff. Moving along, we've got another bag here, which is another set of pylons, and I think this here is like a sensor, which I forgot which one it was, but we've got that as well, you know. And again, everything is really nice. Ejector pin marks in the right place, no flash, recessed panel lines, rivets and everything, all really nice. Now we've got another bag here which is like full of weapons, and I want to talk about that later, okay, because that is a big pet hate for me there. Now what we've also got is we get in the box another box, which is really cool. F-14D Super Tomcat, an actual another box, which is really cool, and it's a nice box. It's not just some box they've thrown together, just a plain box. I mean, they'll give you a nice box. And what we've got in here, plain and simply, is our two main pieces for our fuselage section, which is really quite nice packaging, if you ask me, just for like these two main pieces. And let's have a look inside and see how good they are. And let's bring you right in on these as well. Right, and as you can hopefully see, if I maneuver this, the detail on here is really nice, really crisp. The recessed panel lines look in scale. We've got no flash, nice riveting. You know, this really is, you know, a nice kit so far. And I'll just get the other one out the bag just to show you that as well. Again, you know, nice detail going on with all of this kit, which is really nice. Okay, so really trying to speed up, but there is a lot in this kit. Again, you know, we've got another box, a really nice presented box with some more goodies inside, which really is kind of showing you the quality that we're getting with this. What we've got in here is we've got our air intakes. By the looks of it, I'll just open one of them up just so we can have a look, see what's special about these in their separate packaging. And yeah, I mean, they look really nice. It looks like somebody has like cut them off of sprue for us, which I mean, they look like they've cut them off the sprue for us quite nicely, but I'd have preferred to have cut them off myself. And actually, I mean, looking at this, there is this kind of like a join line just going all the way along here, which you know, is something you're gonna have to sand out. This is probably the only imperfection I've probably found on this kit, is this actual air intake section here. This is going to need a bit of a sand because there's like a join line going on somewhere there, and it seems to be going on here as well. I mean, it almost looks like it could have been a recessed panel line, but it's almost like a join line as well. So some sort of moulding thing going on there, so you want to kind of like sand that out and smooth that out, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We've got two of them, obviously. Moving through, we've got the cockpit section, right, which, you know, well, let's get you in on this as well. We want to get close in and have a good look at this. Now, looking at the detail in here, I mean, it does look quite nice. I mean, you know, it's not your resin going on here, but I mean, it's pretty damn good for shall we say, styrene plastic. And moving along, we can have a look at our instrument display panel. Shall we say it's okay on detail. Looking at that, I mean, it could have been a bit better. We've got another one here which does actually look quite good. This one does. We've got a few little panels here as well that's going to go in there, and they look good. I mean, cockpit, it looks good, shall we say. It's not brilliant, it's not a load of rubbish, it's an okay standard. You know, I was probably expecting a little bit more from this kit, because this kit was actually looking really good, and I was probably expecting a bit more from the cockpit, but you know, it's still good, you know, just not what I quite expected, shall we say. We've got a bunch of it looks like some door panels here for where the Gatling system goes, and looks like where our exhaust kind of go on as well. Nice little thing there. And more weapons. Hold on, just put the weapons over there. 1 second, just want to deal with them last. What we've also got, we've got some rubber tyres as well, which I do like. A lot of people don't, but I like. So that's a bonus for me personally. And I do quite like this as well. I mean, it's quite interesting how they've taken the ejector seats and actually put these on their own little itty bitty sprues, which is quite cool. And if we bring you in, we'll just have a look at what kind of detail we've got going on here, which by the looks of it, I mean, it's again okay. Not as good as your resin, obviously, but and it's not rubbish, it's just okay. And you get 2 of them. Just bring you out. You also get 1 second. You also get a nice bit of Photo-etch, which you know, don't jump up and down, oh woohoo, we've got Photo-etch. I mean, you know, it's just a nice bit of Photo-etch, which, you know, admittedly, you know, nice seat belts, that's kind of cool, which will go nicely with you know, your seats and everything, can liven them up. But we've got some mirrors and some canopy stuff. You know, it's not like a heap load of Photo-etch, but it's a nice little extra touch. So that's good. Nose completely separate on its own in its own little bag, which is quite good, because of the amount of times that these noses are like sticking out up from like a sprue, and when you put them, when they box them up and everything, it just bends and all this kind of stuff, and they end up being a bit of pain. But moving along, excuse me, we've now got all our clear part canopy section. Okay, so let's unwrap this and see, have a good look and see what's going on here. Rightio then. Looking at this, I mean, it's looking nice and shiny. Okay, I think maybe a nice quick little buff up, and that will be actually really nice and shiny. We do have a centre seam line going down the middle. A lot of people moan about this, but I do kind of consider this is a bit of part of modelling, and it's not that hard to get out, and it's really nice how it is only got one peg on here, so you know, that's nice and easy to cut off. And the same with our front canopy section here, looking really nice. So that's all really nice, and I do love how, you know, you've got this nice top quality kit, and they come along and they pack it nice top quality, so you don't end up having a ruined top quality kit because of packaging. So that's a nice bonus. And then coming to the last thing, which is really where I don't like the Hasegawa kit. I mean, the Hasegawa kit is supposed to be the best kit you can get of an F-14 Tomcat in 1/48 scale. And I'm kind of thinking now that was the case, but isn't the case anymore, because this kit looks really good, really top notch. So does the Hasegawa, but where the Hasegawa lets itself down is it doesn't have any weapons, and it is damn right annoying that you pay all that money and you don't get any weapons, and you have to go off and buy their Hasegawa weapons box sets to get the weapons you need to actually load this Tomcat up the way you want it. But with this kit we get a whopping just trying to, I think six Phoenix missiles. You only get 4 Phoenix missiles with the Hasegawa weapons set, and I think we get, how many have we got here? I think we've got like 4 Sparrows, maybe 6 Sparrows. I think we've got 2 laser guided bombs, and I think we've got about 4 sidewinders, you know. We've got some harm missiles in here, some freefall bombs, you know. We are proper loaded up to the none with weapons for this kit, which is a real big plus over the Hasegawa kit. So to kind of wrap this up, because this has been quite a in-box review, basically this kit is definitely recommended. I have actually fallen in love with this kit. I think it's better than the Hasegawa kit, even though I haven't built it yet, which I'm gonna be, okay, to find out if there is any nasty fit issues, but looking at the kit I find it highly unlikely there's going to be a nasty fit issue with this, so I really do think it's recommended. And you know, the price as well, this kit is retailing at about £50 at the moment, which £50 for a top quality kit like this I think is pretty damn good, considering if you go Hasegawa route, I mean, I think you're talking about £65 just for buying the kit, and then you're probably going to have to go out and buy 2 weapons box sets to get the weapons you need to load it up, and they're about £15–20 each, so you're spending over £100 for a Hasegawa kit when you can pay, you know, £50 for this new HobbyBoss kit. They've also got the A and B version as well, and actually, sorry, I've missed one thing out of this review, which I'm just grabbing right now, is the decals. Forgot to mention, we've got 3 decal sheets here, and we've got basically the 2 markings that we get with the kit are both on these 2 decal sheets, and these are some nice stencils for our weapons. This was probably one of the downsides to this actual kit, because I don't think there is enough decals, to be honest with you. I mean, stencil wise it just seems they're a bit light on the stencils. I don't know if that's accurate or not at this moment in time, but I mean, it just looks a bit kind of there's not enough going on there with the decals, which I don't know if is a shame or not. I mean, I'll have to kind of look into that, but by looking at the decals I think they're going to be a typical Asian type decals, so you're probably going to be using Mr. Mark softener, but this will be a step-by-step video build, so I will be basically showing you, you know, how to build it and everything, and we can go over whether or not, you know, if this is any good. So I hope you've enjoyed this inbox review. Hello there, and what we're going to do now is we're going to have our first take of the step-by-step video build of this F-14 Tomcat. Now basically, as you can probably see, I've cut up a load of pieces here, which is like all our cockpit area, which is actually, there's quite a lot of pieces going on here. I have trimmed them all up and everything, they're all nice and neat and tidy, but as a quick rundown, I know it's kind of basic, but to cut off pieces off your sprue, in this case we're cutting off some wheel well here, nice bit of pliers. I like these from Trumpeter, I think they're like maybe £5 or £6 or £7 or something like that, but these really do nicely cut, nice to the edge where you want to cut it. It's a pretty nice clean cut, and you know, they've got the strength, shall we say. If you ever come across those kind of really thick sprues that you can get from, like, I mean, I know Airfix, their sprues can be quite thick, and you don't want to be really trying to hack at it, you know. You want to just nice clean cut, because it makes your pieces much more cleaner and tidier. And then you've got, like, I mean, I like to use the option of just actually cutting off whatever little bits are left over from the sprue, right, like so. This isn't I mean, I've got used to doing it this way, and I've got quite neat doing it this way, but I think people will say that it's safer and neater to actually come along and sand it out. So getting my little sanding box here, we can get our skinny sanding stick here. This is like a medium grit, and you can plain and simply, you just very kind of lightly sand out what's left of the tab, so it all looks nice and neat. And it is pretty easy just to get them nicely sanded out. And you could probably, you know, fine sanding stick, you know, just kind of smooth that out, right? But that's how you kind of like get all your pieces all nice and neat and tidy, all ready for gluing. But now we've done that, what we've got up next is we've got a bit of photo etch. Now I'm going to have my radar all locked in, the nose section is going to be locked in, all closed, so you're not going to see this with this build, but just in case you do decide to do it, I just want to show you this bit here. Now we've got some photo etch. Now to cut some photo etch bits off, right, I've already cut some off, but we've got these little T-shaped things going on here, which I think we could do with bring you in a little closer. Sorry about manoeuvring in the camera, but we've got these little T-shapes here. There's 10 altogether, and with some nice kind of nice thin pointy scissors, right, we can just pretty nice and easily actually, you know, cut these little bits of photo etch off of the sprue quite easily. You know, I know it's metal and you might think, oh, it's going to take a bit to get it off, but you can actually quite easily get these off. Now you've got to be careful with getting the little bits off, because they can potentially fly off and stuff, so I'm kind of trying to hold and cut at the same time, as you can see. I mean, you could get some Tamiya masking tape maybe, and I've got some here, which is probably the easiest thing to do. Maybe get some Tamiya masking tape and maybe just tape it on like so. So then you can nice and easily come along, cut that off like so, peel back the Tamiya masking tape, and you should have your nice bit of photo etch actually stuck to the Tamiya masking tape. That's just one way of doing it. So that's all the photo etch cut off for this little section here. So next thing we want to do, we've got our little piece here, right, our plastic piece and our photo etch piece. We can glue these in now. With photo etch, I mean, what you want to use is something like a nice safe glue, shall we say, which is like your micro crystal clear. With this stuff, it just makes it safer and easier, but it doesn't have that bite, which is a bit of a pain, because you kind of need a nice bit of bite with when putting photo etch down. Now I've just got some Tamiya masking tape. I'll put it on the desk like so, and I'm just getting a bit of Zappa Gap super glue, and I'm just going to pour a bit of this out onto our Tamiya masking tape. This just makes it kind of, well, it's not going to ruin your desk by keep putting super glue down. And we've got a nice little cocktail stick here for application, and we're going to need some nice kind of pointy pliers here. Now first off, what we want to do is we want to get these tiny little, you know, bits of photo etch that look like T-shapes, and we want to basically get it nicely locked in. Let's bring you in, nicely locked in, okay, on the end of our needle nose pliers, right? And then I'm gonna have to bring you out again. We just want to very carefully, okay, very carefully dip just the end that needs gluing, okay, not our needle nose pliers, but just the end that needs gluing, okay, dip that, and then we need to then very carefully put it in position on our photo etch, which isn't as easy as you think, okay, because we're talking a very kind of delicate process here, trying to get that bit of super glue on the end and then just trying to get it to actually go in position and sort of let go before you actually basically spend too much time and the super glue just ends up drying. Okay, so again, let's try this again. This is going to be one of these kind of things that you get quite, shall we say, maybe a bit annoyed with, because it is just a bit too delicate. Again, let's get some more glue on there, and let's just try and get it in position. I mean, really, the problem is there are little tiny little holes on here where this actually goes in. I'm going to have to get a bit more super glue on this because this is going to break pretty easily. So very carefully, just a bit of super glue while it's on here, like so. We need to kind of maneuver this just a little bit, like so. Okay. So basically what you've got here is, I'll just bring this here, is we've got this nice little bit of a radar bit now, and we've got this little T-shape stuck on there, which as you can see is really tricky to do, okay. Hopefully you can see that, and to get that to kind of point up, and you've got to do 10 of these as well, as you can see, which is gonna be a bit of a pain, but you've just got to kind of get the hang of it, play with it, and eventually you'll get there. The problem is really when you look right at the detail actually on our photo etch piece here. I can just get it in the light. You've got all these tiny little rectangles going on, loads and loads of them, and the problem is there are rectangles on here for where you put these 10 little pieces in. They are a little bit bigger than the actual detail rectangles that are going on, but they're quite hard to distinguish between what is like the hole, shall we say, to put our pieces in, and what is actually detail. So you know, you've got to be kind of careful there, and it is a bit tricky to work it out, but there are bigger rectangles in there where you put your pieces in, which aren't supposed to be detail, it's supposed to be what you put your photo etch in. So as you can see, very tricky, and we've got to move along with that, but what you also want to do is we could get a bit of our super glue, okay, and we could put it on our plastic piece here, like so. I think we'll be alright using super glue, because this is quite a nice big piece to kind of do, so we ain't got to worry about super glue spurting everywhere and all this kind of stuff. Just let's get it nicely in the position it needs to be, and that should go down quite nicely, okay, like so. So that should sort out that bit of radar going on there. And then just to kind of like move along now from this bit of photo etch that's going on here, because I mean that is going to take me some time to get the rest of them on, like so. Just put them over there, sorry, right. Basically the rest of it is, yes, okay, we've got a bit of glue in, just gluing on these bits of plastic here, but if you follow the instructions, I mean, it's not that hard just to glue these bits on, right? What I would recommend is this bit of the radar system, right? Don't glue on straight away, because this we're going to do like a nice metallic sort of like a gold kind of colour, and it just saves us masking up and stuff, so leave that separately. Moving along to our ejector seats here, what we're going to do, we're just going to build this together, which we want our little piece here, which does go just somewhere here. He says somewhere here. Okay, just moving along, we're going to get this nicely, hold it in position, not too much Tamiya extra thin cement. Okay, we don't want it spurting out the sides or anything like that. We don't want to go overboard. It doesn't need lots and lots of glue. Okay, we just want to get it in position, like so, and then we can glue the other side. Which this isn't quite in right yet. There we go, now we are. Okay, and that does look nice. It's a real nice fit, to be honest. It wasn't any trouble at all. And then what we need to do, just need to get this piece glued on the top of here as well. Alright. Now while I'm holding this, I mean, this is a bit of a tricky piece to kind of get sorted, so if you kind of like maybe just get a little bit of glue one end, okay, and maybe just give that a few seconds to dry a bit, right, so we don't go putting glue all the way around and trying to press down and then we end up with like fingerprints. Just a little bit of glue just to hold it in position, and then maybe we could come along and, you know, work on something else like our ejector our ejection pull cord here, just down here between the pilot's legs. Just got that in there nicely, and that's that. So then we can come back up to here now that we put that little bit of glue in there. It's nicely holding that in position now, so we can just go around where we haven't glued. Right, and because this is a small piece, we don't want to, as I say, get any fingerprints. So I'm just pushing it down with something a bit more, with a less surface area than your finger, just to get that nicely in place. And that is now all nicely glued in place, okay, and that's your ejector seat. The one thing in the instructions that it does tell you to do as well is on ejector seat B, which is the pilot seat, we've got these little tabs. I'm going to have to bring you in close to this because this is a bit of detail to get sorted. We've got these little they're kind of like these spiky bits that kind of just point out of this one piece. Right, which if we look at the one that's completed here, right, it's just on the top, these spiky bits, okay. Basically they want you to cut these off, right, so we can use a blade here and just cut this off. Yeah, real nice, real easy, as you can hopefully see. Try not to get my fingers in the way of the camera, but you know, we've nicely cut them off. Right, and then it wants you to replace them with what just looks simply like some bigger ones than what are standardly on there. Okay, so we can zoom you out a sec. So we could cut these off the sprue, like so. Right, and when we've put all this together, like we did with the last one, we can glue these two new spiky bits. Sorry for the spiky bits thing going on there, but you know, we glue them on basically like we did the last. So just nice, simple, easy gluing to do there. Any more notes? Now, actually putting the cockpit together, you know, this is going to be some nice, plain, simple gluing. Okay, we're just going to be we've got some kind of like panels to glue just on the sides here, just to make them up, but that is all pretty kind of basic, you know, Tamiya extra thin kind of gluing. Now one thing to kind of note, don't go nuts and glue everything in, right, because you want to be able to have access to be able to spray and paint all this stuff, right? So for example, instrument panel here, and we've got another one here, you know, don't glue these in straight away. We could glue them in, right, like so, and we could come along and, you know, glue in, you know, some more pieces, but it would be a lot easier if you didn't glue in your instrument panels, which I hardly ever do. And what you want to do is come along and put them on a bit of blue tack with a cocktail stick, right, and we can spray that separately, spray the cockpit separately, put as little as possible you can put in the cockpit to give you maximum access to everything, all the display panels, because we're going to be coming in and we're going to be doing some pretty kind of like close detail work, painting buttons and all this kind of stuff, so you want to have good access to everything. So that's that. There is excuse me, there's these panels on the sides as well. There are like 4 of these. With these I have actually left, I've cut the tab part really big. Okay, so let's zoom you right in. We've got quite a bit of the tab that I've left here, and I've done this so that when I do come along to do some spraying, you know, I can put them on some nice tweezers here and easily spray this, and or even you could probably hold it with your fingers, to be honest with you, and then really once it's all sprayed and painted, we can just come along and just cut this little tab off, maybe a little bit of a paintbrush work where we've cut the tab, but that's that. It just makes spraying it easier rather than just having like 4 of these pieces and then trying to hold it, and you know, you're in that situation where you can kind of, you know, spray one half, holding the other, then waiting for it to dry, spray the other half. You know, you don't want to be doing that. So that is just one thing I've done with this kit, and that is it basically for this part. Is just kind of getting it all glued, trimmed up and whatnot. So I'll be back when I'm basically gonna spray this. Oh no, sorry, hold on, there was one last note I did forget, sorry about that. Is now this kit, as I said in the inbox review, the recess panel line detail, the rivet detail is really good, really crisp, but on closer inspection I did actually find that it looks good on top, right, but with a lot of kits, when it kind of wraps around, okay, so this bottom bit here, right, where the molds come in, they look good on top, but when it wraps around, the recess panel lines and the rivet detail can get really sort of light and quite thin, so you have to rescribe if you want to get those things like your pin washes and your slud washes to actually be able to get in your recess panel lines to actually create a weathering effect. So I have, with this piece, come along and I've just done a bit of rescribing, okay. I mean, we've already got a bit of a recess panel line going on here, it's just very light, it's a bit too light to take any kind of pin wash and sludge wash, so we have got a panel line to follow, so it was quite easy to go freehand and kind of just give it a bit of a rescribe and all that kind of stuff, just to give it you know, that nice bit of life back into it and get that all sorted. Now this one I haven't quite done yet, and I just want to kind of show you a bit of rescribing. Now it does get a little bit light here. In fact, this one isn't as bad, to be honest with you, as that other piece, but because we've got a bit of a recess panel line going on here, we can nicely, quite easily go freehand and just rescribe, right, and it's just nice and light, right. I'm not digging down and ripping it back, right, because if you slip, you're gonna slip, make a nasty kind of recess somewhere else where you don't want it, or you could potentially make your recess panel lines way too deep, right, which is not what you want. Nice light passes just to get it nice and slowly deeper and deeper to the, you know, the depth you want it, right? Now this line here, you know, I want to get this straight. It's a little bit thin, so let's get a scribing template, nice little template where you've got all different shapes in there, but you can also use it as a nice kind of like straight line to actually do some scribing. Now the tricky part of trying to do scribing really is when you get this template, is actually trying to position it right so that you can actually keep it nice and steady in place, and then with your other hand come along and actually do a light scribe, which, as I say, it is the tricky part about scribing. It does take a bit of time to line it up, right, and actually trying to keep you guys on camera as well. Maybe if we turn it around, orientate it, you know, try different positions and find the best position that gets this piece where you can actually come along and scribe. And I think I'm almost there. I think what I need to do, because this is a bit wonky, is potentially let's get a big wadge of blue tack, right, so we can actually hold this in position, right, like so. There we go. So that should help getting that in position. My scribing template has just gone in the super glue. I'll get rid of that. Okay, so now actually this is nicely held into place, almost getting there.